Goodness sake. Sorry about that, guys, man. I thought I was talking, but it seems that I was muted there. I was muted there. But guys, hey, I'm on here to do a little bit more late night talking, man. And I'm gonna talk a little bit about wrestling, and I'll be pretty much dropping the track, man. I started working on the track a little bit earlier. If you didn't see the video earlier of when the video about an hour and maybe 20 minutes ago, I did a video and I talked about music and I talked about wrestling and I was doing some music here. I put down a beat track, not finished it. Pretty much played some of my old music. This is something that I'm trying to get back into, guys. I'm definitely going to get back into it. And I do have some music channels that I'm going to be working on. I'm going to be doing that a lot, man. And I will be doing that alongside the Straight Up Wrestling Show. And some of these shows, man, you will see me and Chris in here, and I'll be messing with some music and stuff like that. And he will be getting involved. But yeah, I definitely will be doing something a little different here. What's up, Gabriel Allen? Gabriel Allen says you got sound now, Harry. Yes, I do, man. Yes, I do. And that music that you heard, the music that was coming in that brought this video in, yes, I did do that music. So that is one of my original compositions. I wrote that piece about 20 years ago. So yeah, that is what I do, man. I am a musician. That's my first love. So yeah, I will be getting into that, and you guys will, along with some wrestling commentary and things like that, you will hear some of my music compositions, or you will hear me creating music, and I'll be pretty much putting down things that I've already done, man. I have over 500 beats over the time that I worked on music and stuff like that. So I will be pretty much playing some of those. All these little discs right here, I do it old school, man. These little floppy discs, they all have music on it. Now I have hundreds of these things. I have them all over the place, man. Because right now, pretty much unorganized. Last year around this time during the summer, I was producing a young kid, a 14-year-old. I was producing some R&B tracks for him, R&B album for him. But yeah, I have these things all over the flipping place. Got to get organized, man. I haven't been in this room here lately for a while, man. But like I say, all these discs, they all have like 20 different tracks on them, man. Beat tracks. Some of them have 10, some of them have up to 20, and I have a couple of them that's 40. But when you put so many different tracks on there, man, then you start losing. Sometimes you can end up losing. They'll be overloaded. The tracks don't ever get sound quality. You don't lose anything on that because they all come out big time HD and everything. But yeah, you can actually lose the track if you use that, if you end up using the disc too much. But hey, it's old school the way I do it. But man, yeah, let's talk about a little bit of wrestling. Now, as far as NXT tonight, or if you want to call it yesterday or whatever, NXT I didn't get to watch. I will review that today. I'm going to go ahead and watch that, man, a little bit later, and I will review NXT, and I'm going to go ahead and try to finish up those last two Wednesday night Dynamites that I didn't watch. Now, I was watching one of them, the one from a week ago, and I'm trying to get to both of them, man. So I'm going to be doing a lot of watching. I'm going to watch a lot of wrestling today, man, so I can pretty much catch up. I want to catch up with what's going on over in WWE. I mean, not WWE, AEW. A lot of people are speculating about this thing with Shane McMahon. Is he going to come in? Is Shane McMahon going to buy AEW? And if he buys it, man, hey, who comes into play? Is he buying this thing for Vince McMahon? Because Shane McMahon didn't want to have anything to do with wrestling. And why would he want to have anything to do with AEW? It doesn't make any sense. So if he does come in, I don't see him coming in for any other faction. Any other reason. I don't think he's going to come in to work for Tony Khan. If he does, it's going to be a short-term deal, short-term thing to make it look like he's going to do it, and then he's going to take over, or he's going to pretty much sell it off to his father. And because I know his father's not going to come in and work with Shane and work under Tony Khan. That's just not going to happen, man. But this could be a way for Vince McMahon to get back totally in the business without pretty much going through a lot of mumbo jumbo and starting up his thing from scratch. Because that's what I would do. Straight up. I would start off from scratch. But he is 80 years old, basically 80 years old. So maybe he doesn't want to do that. Maybe he wants to go with something that's already established, and he has something in mind with the talent that they have. Because they have a lot of talent over there. But, man, they really have not capitalized on that talent. There's no character development. And there's no storyline development. There's no department for that. there's no infrastructure. The infrastructure is pretty much nil, none over there in AEW. So if Vince come in, you better believe, even at his advanced age, Vince is going to do some serious damage because, hey, he could be really salty. If these guys over at Endeavor and over at TKO is really serious about all this, he can't come into the building and everything, they pretty much have absorbed their power because Vince pretty much gave up everything. He sold off all his stock. He gave up all his power. He had the most power over it in Endeavor and TKO. He had the most power. He gave it all up. And these guys are pretty much throwing their weight around. And if anybody's going to hurt them, and we know, okay, TNA, they got a partnership with them. MLW, they cannot do any damage to them. Let's see, AEW they cannot hurt them. AEW continue to go down. I feel bad for AEW. I feel bad for the fans, and I feel bad for the wrestlers. For most of all, I feel bad for the wrestlers, and I feel bad for the fans. Now, these wrestlers are still getting paid, but how long would it get paid? How long would that thing be in business if Tony Khan don't sell that thing off straight up, man? But yeah, so if Vince McMahon, he can come back in one big last swoop and say, hey, I showed you. Because when it boils down to it, who do you think will win? Do you think Triple H's son-in-law has what it takes to hold off a Vince McMahon charge? I don't think so when it boils down to it. I know Vince McMahon, a lot of people might look at him and say, hey, man, this guy did a lot of effed up booking over the last several years or whatever. But just like I talked about a little bit earlier, man, wrestling fans have came in and wrestling fans have made it their duty to become bookers and tell the wrestling business how to run itself. And when it's not run the way they want it run, hey, wrestling fans have decided to just up and take off. Hey, I'm not going to watch you no more, whatever, or I'm going to complain about it. Man, I liked it a little bit more back in the days when wrestling fans didn't have that voice, which the internet have definitely gave them, man. They have gave them that voice to where, they can get out here and they speak on what they want to speak. And yeah, consumers should have a voice. I will say that, but to a certain point, man, straight up. And why in the world am I not? I don't know what in the world's going on here, guys. I really got to check out something, but I do not see myself streaming live here. Now I do. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. All right, guys, let me check something. I need to go over here on Facebook, make sure it's streaming live over there. And let me check and see what kind of activity I have going on Facebook and make sure, because Facebook does it a little bit different now. So I got to make sure that it's over on our excuse me, on our Facebook, not just our Facebook page, but on our group page, because it will go on my regular Facebook page, and then it will go into my regular Facebook page, and I have to share it to my group page, which used to go to my group page automatically, man. And I hate that. I hate having to do that, but it is what it is. Facebook don't want anybody using any, they don't want you using StreamYard. They don't want you using any outside app to stream to their platform. They want it to be live, man. They want it to be live on their platform only. And if that's the way they want to do it, then that's just it. But wow. Yeah, so let me get back to everything that I was talking about. Right now I was just talking about, what was I talking about? Okay, so I went into the Vince McMahon thing. Man, Cody Rhodes is WWE champion, great champion, and I think he's a worthy champion, straight up. Now, everything else falls back on the promotion when it boils down to it. Is getting him over in the eyes of the fans. Now, you just had this thing against AJ Styles. He took out AJ Styles, man, in that I Quit match. And Cody Rhodes, he's has, not a whole lot of title defenses, but he have had them. But the thing is this, man, when you have a world champion like that, you got to find something special for him, man. You got to find something special for him, and you have to run with it. Now, the thing with AJ Styles could have been very special if AJ Styles, within the last few years, been on a winning streak and have been, he has been awarded, he has been used as the type of champion that he really is, the type of wrestler that he really is. But to tell you the truth, man, and to be honest with you, AJ Styles have not utilized him the way he should be utilized. So this thing with Cody really wasn't nothing, and you took it straight to an I Quit match. You want to put him in a feud. You want to put him in something that could go 4 to 6 months, man. Hey, it specialized that championship. And yeah, you can have him have title defenses up against the top 15 guys, top 10 guys up into that point, but you definitely have to have a number one contender for Cody Rhodes, and you need to make that thing special. You need to have them guys go back and forth until they get to an I Quit match. You don't just up and do it like that, man. You just don't. You just don't. Triple H, go look at how they used to do it back in the day when Roddy Piper and the Hammer Valentine had that final match, man. Not the I Quit match, but the dog collar match. When his ear got messed up. Roddy Piper's ear got messed up against Greg Valentine. Look how long that feud went on. Look how long the feud went between Magnum TA and Tully Blanchard before that I Quit match, man. That feud went on for months. It was a hated feud, and those guys battled back and forth for months. Did people get tired of that? No, I know it's a whole different ball game, whole different energy. But if you don't give the new crowd of wrestling fans something like that, man, to where they can look at a storyline and say, man, this is great, this is cooking. I want to come back and see what happens the next week. If you ain't got enough, if you don't have enough patience to where you can give the fans that, you might as well not even be booking. You might as well not even be doing this thing in the wrestling business. Find somebody who can do it. Now, that Bloodline storyline was a great storyline, but when it boils down to it, that was Vince McMahon's storyline, man. It was. That was Vince McMahon. And when Vince McMahon up and left, the thing ended up being taken down, or they ended up finishing it. In my opinion, they ended up finishing it too soon. It was premature. They could have kept on going with that storyline the way they had it with, especially the thing that they had going with Sammy. They could have went on with that a little bit longer. Then they had that thing with the Judgment Day with R-Truth. They could have went on a little longer with that. It seems like, man, they just don't have a handle on storylines and how they should work. And man, speaking of storylines, the Wide Six. So the Wide Six, man, can they get that thing right? Can they get it right? Because in my opinion, I hate to say this, it seems like they brought it in because fans have been wanting it so bad. They brought it in there, but when it boils down to it, they still don't have anything for them. And yes, I'm gonna be patient. I'm gonna look at it. Same thing when Bray Wyatt was here before he had passed away. Rest in peace to my man Bray Wyatt. But I'm telling you like this, man, they didn't have anything for Bray. They did not. Man, you got to have something for somebody. And the whole thing, like yesterday, Miz and R-Truth lost those World Heavyweight Championship belts. I have no problem with that. But man, you never had a plan for them in the beginning. You never had a plan for them at the jump. So, goodness sake, man, you have to sit back and you have to look at this whole situation like, Triple H, what are you doing? And people looking at you and they want to call you a genius and everything. Man, but in my opinion, straight up, man, all the geniuses in wrestling are gone. The guys, man, the last genius booker was Vince McMahon. And he got old, and I'm not going to say he got old and senile. What it boiled down to is that Vince McMahon was competing with himself for so long because TNA was not competition. They was not. AEW came along, wasn't competition. What's up, Justin? What's up, Jason? What's going on? Jason Durr's in the house. All right, my man Manson Chad is in the house. What's up? But Vince McMahon, he was competing with himself for so long, man. He was. And then he started competing against the internet. He started listening to internet trolls, basically coming in and just saying, hey, you should do this, you should do that. And what happened is, because these guys, the regional territory system is just drained. It's not there anymore. Now we have indie wrestling or whatever, and nobody's going to make a whole bunch of money on that. So Jim Crockett Promotions, gone. WCW, which was Jim Crockett Promotions, gone. Vince McMahon didn't have nobody to compete with, and Vince McMahon ended up having abundance of stars, a whole bunch of stars. And then when the new stars came in, and Vince McMahon took these guys on, and it looked like these guys were getting a push, looked like they was moving on and stuff like that. And when something happened, another star came along, and that guy who looked like he was getting a push got moved to the back, started losing and everything. Somebody went over him. These fans got upset because the thing about fans today, man, they get a personal attachment to these wrestlers. Of course, we did too back in the day, but we liked so many different wrestlers. It just wasn't like that with us, man. But they get a personal attachment to certain wrestlers, like, you know, and like they getting a personal attachment to a family member or a dog that they love so much. I hate to say it, they really do. And then when that person or whatever they feel is not being treated right, then the vitriol comes on that promoter. And that's what happened with Vince McMahon. They all piled on him. Straight up, man. That's exactly what they did. And so he started looking at them and trying to see what they wanted and try to book the way that the wrestling community wanted it. You know? And I'm sorry, man. You just can't do that. You can't do that. And that's probably what was so great about the bookers back in the day. They didn't have to listen to the fans because the fans didn't have a voice, man. If you wanted your voice heard, you had to send in regular mail. You just did. All right, man. Let me see. Let me go back and check out some of these comments. All right, man. Manson Chad says, "Sup, Harry? You talk about AEW and what happened tomorrow, and also Satnam Singh is now on broadcast for AEW. He is no longer wrestling. Goodness sake, man. For real? Wow. All right, Jason Durr says, hey, brother. Jason Durr says, you can't never please a wrestling fan. No, you can't, Jason. No, you can't, man. No, you can't. All right, man. Josh Williams says, I've been a Miz fan since he started. I wish they give Truth and Miz a long reign, but I get they had to do it. But I do agree, Harry. They pulled the trigger a little too quick. Yes, they did. Jason Durr, preach, man. I hear you, Jason. But yeah, I'm just like, that thing with Miz and R-Truth, it could have been great. It really could. And even at their ages, man, you know, of course, R-Truth a little bit older than Miz, but not much. I mean, even at their age that both of those guys are now, you could have had a great title run with those guys. Let Truth, man, be funny or whatever, because that's him. That's him. That's his personality. Let him be funny, but don't let it be over the top. It got to the point where it's over the top. It's too much. Let him be funny, but let these guys be dominant in the ring. And both of them incredible performers. You could have had them guys being dominant. They could have started a tag team division. You have them. You have Austin Theory. You have Grayson Waller, with the other tag team belts. But you could have built a tag team division around both of them, man. You could have got a lot of these guys. Of course, you could have had Finn Balor with JD Madonna, even though I think JD Madonna would be better suited along as far as going for tag belts alongside, Dominic Mysterio. But Finn Balor, man, he's a top tier talent. I mean, JD Madonna is okay, but that's not the same. They don't look that great as tag team champs. I hate to say it. Finn Balor, now if Damian Priest wasn't the world heavyweight champion, he was his partner, be a whole different ball game, man. But what they have now with those two, no, I don't like it. I don't really care for it. But they have to get their heads together and say, hey, wait a minute, tag team wrestling used to mean something. Tag team wrestling used to headline. A lot of main events came from tag team wrestling. You know how many main events were because of the Rock and Roll Express? How many main events that it was Rock and Roll Express versus Midnight Express, or Rock and Roll Express versus the Road Warriors, Rock and Roll Express versus Ivan and Nikita Koloff, Rock and Roll Express against Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson, Rock and Roll Express against Ric Flair and Arn Anderson. Do you know how many times them guys headlined? Do you know how many times the Midnight Express was in the Midnight Express was in the main event? The Midnight Express, man, against doggone well, that's a lot of them. Like I said, of course, the Rock and Roll Express, the Midnight Express against Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard, Midnight Express against Larry Zbyszko and Rick Rude. The Midnight, man, it's so many different ways that they used to do it back in the day. The Road Warriors, man, it's of course a lot of times against the Four Horsemen. The Road Warriors will team up sometimes with Dusty Rhodes and Magnum TA and take on the Four Horsemen. The Road Warriors by themselves, man, against the Fabulous Freebirds in the main event. The Road Warriors against doggone Midnight Express in the main event. Road Warriors against Ivan Koloff and Nikita Koloff. And a lot of times, that's one thing about Jim Crockett. He had an A, B, C, and D division. And you look at 2 or 3 of his shows, his top shows, he will have the tag team. The tag teams will be the main events. The tag team wrestling will be the main event. Sometimes Flair will be in the third match before the main event. Flair, whoever he was going to against. And that's when Flair was defending the belt against people like Sting. You know, straight up against Sting, Nikita Koloff, and everything. And the main event, man, will be the Road Warriors against Ron and Jimmy Garvin. You know, it was just a whole different ball game, man. Tag team wrestling meant so much. And we know as man, you know, the man that's on here, we know as man, you hang with your boys. You hang with you, and you always have one main boy, one main friend. And that's the way people see us. And, you know, you come in, you walk in, they be like, where's your boy at, man? Where's Chris at? You know, like Chris, my boy. Or, you know, where's Dre at, man? You know, where's your boy at and stuff like that, man. They expect us to come in twos. They just do. And that's why wrestling was so popular in that format. You know, hey, Memphis Championship Wrestling was built off tag team wrestling. Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling was built off of it. East Coast Championship Wrestling, Jim Crockett Promotions, it was built off tag team wrestling. That's what it was. There was no singles matches until Jim Crockett Jr. took it over in the early 70s from his dad. When his dad had it, man, it was just mainly tag team wrestling, guys. That's what it was. All right. Yeah, Manson Chaz, I make beats, man. I make beats. I started off doing one earlier today. Let's see. All right. Interesting. Yeah, I definitely did, man. You can go back and look at that other one. I will play a little bit here. I will mess around with it a little bit, but it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, 1:07 in the morning. So I'm trying not to get too loud or whatever, because when I do it, I like to do my beats loud and everything. So yeah, I'm gonna be making some stuff in just a minute. I'm gonna go ahead and do a little bit of something. All right, Jason Durr said Truth is 54 though. Yes, he is. To give him a title run alone is Hall of Fame worthy. That's true. That's true. Devlin and Finn deserves it. You mean JD Madonna? Yeah. Well, I mean, I have no problem with him. And Chris, he liked it too. Those guys winning the tag team titles, I have no problem with it. But to tell you the truth, man, I will say Miz and R-Truth, they deserve to hold on to it a little bit longer. All right, man. Jason Durr says, just wait and see. They will be a tag great. I promise. Okay. Manson Chad says, wait, so Jim Crockett came up with Kevin Nash's gimmick, Oz or Vinny Vegas, Harry, or was it Kevin Sullivan? I am not sure. It wasn't Jim Crockett that came up with Oz, because Jim Crockett wasn't in the business at that time. It was, I think it was Kevin. I don't know if it's Kevin Sullivan or not. Whoever came up with it, it was crazy. I would never forget it. That is one thing. Every time I see Kevin Nash, I think about that Oz gimmick, man. I do. That was so messed up. All right, Richard Chad says AEW tag team needs to be fixed. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Man, they got something special with Butcher and Blade, you ask me. They had something special with that. But they didn't want to run with it. All they did was have them out there losing, man. Straight up. Bill Watts came up with it. Okay, Bill Watts. Okay, cool. All right, Richard Chad says, whatever happened to the Butcher and AEW? That's what I'm wondering about, Richard Chad. And there are some ideas I can do with him. No doubt. Josh Williams, I believe it was Dusty that came up with Oz. Could have been. Yeah, I think it was. That's what they were saying on Who Killed WCW on that third episode. I think it was, man. But either way it goes, just flat out crazy. I'm like, what in the world are you doing? I don't know what Dusty was doing at that time, man, because he's such a great booker. I don't know what he was doing. I really don't. Oh, man. I appreciate you guys coming in, man. But, hey, I don't know who was here earlier. None of you guys was here earlier. But, yeah, I will play a few beats. And, you know, you guys are here. There's going to be a little bit, it's not going to be as loud. But, yeah, I will play a little bit. Man, like I said, I'm not going to play it alone because I definitely don't want to disturb my neighbors, man. But, yeah, let me go ahead and do a few of these tracks here, man. Oh, wow. All right, let me know if you guys can hear that beat right there. All right. You know, I haven't been in here, man, like, you know, since last summer. I was producing an album for a 14-year-old. He was 13, then he turned 14 right to the end of the summer, and then he ended up going to LA. He went to LA to do some things, man, with a group. So I stopped producing him, and that's why I stopped, and I haven't done anything since then. But man, I'm getting back into it because this is my first love. So, all right, but yeah, that was one track there. Let me go to the next track. All right, Jason. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. It's time to drop some content, y'all. I gotta go. All right, Jason, have a good night, man. Go ahead and put out that content, man. All right, Richard Chad said, laugh out loud, Harry. I hear it. Sounds cool. Appreciate it. Richard said, you said, oh, wow, because that beat is cold. Very, very pimpish. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. All right, Richard Chad says, oh, that sounds nice. Yeah, that's something I'm going to start doing, man. Yeah, let me go ahead and play a couple more of them. Then I'm going to go ahead and work on one that I started working on right at the end of that last right at the end of that last show that I did, man. Around 11:20, I was working on a beat. I started working on one from scratch. All right, Max Savage is in the house. My man Max says, I'm coming out the Quan. I hear you, Max. I definitely hear you, man. We know all about that. We already talked about that, and I see you've been talking about it today in the group. All right, man. Yeah, so I'm going along, playing a few of these tracks for you guys. Next one, I will play a track that I did for wrestling, man. I did this. That next track, I definitely did that for wrestling. So I will play a little bit of that. All right, Richard, I appreciate that, my man. All right, let me go in. This is a wrestling track. I called it Wrestle Jam. So I'm definitely gonna do that. Start doing some of these, some wrestling tracks. And Chris and I did write a rap track for me and Chris a while back, and I never have put that out. The track that you hear, the start of our show, that track, that is one of my original tracks. So yeah, all the stuff that I put up is my own. And I never sample or anything like that. I do everything from scratch, put the drums in, the hi-hats, the snare, or whatever it is. I put the bass line in there, man, put the guitars, put the horns in there, everything, man. And I did play, this right here comes from my Korg 364 keyboard. This keyboard right here I bought over 20 years ago. I bought this keyboard in 1998, my favorite keyboard. It's now 1998. It's now 26 years old, man. And a lot of people want to buy this keyboard from me, but there's no way in the world I'm gonna give up this one. It's a great keyboard, and I used to do a lot of drum machines and things like that. I used to have the TR-909. That was my favorite drum machine. I don't have that anymore. Gave it to a guy to fix, and man, he ended up never getting back with me, and that company shut down, pissed me off. But that's okay, man, because I went ahead and bought this. But I definitely would like to have that thing back. The thing's worth like $4,000, $5,000 straight up. I should find the guy. I know the guy who I gave it to. But hey, I'm just gonna let that thing go, man. Straight up. All right, let's see. Richard Chad says interesting. Max says, and I'm gonna send you some tights. I'm getting designed. Okay, all right, Max. That's cool. All right, man. But check this out. This is called Wrestle Jam. Let me know what you guys think about it. Okay, I'll let you hear that other one in a little bit. Just a little bit, Richard. All right, Max, cool. Yeah, that's called Wrestle Jam, guys. So I'm gonna start a lot of things off with that, work with that a little bit. But yeah, that was called Wrestle Jam. I did that last summer. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and use that for a few things. All right, Richard Chad, let me go back to that beat. You said it sounded like something something familiar. Yeah, if you can decipher that, man, you can decipher that and figure out what it is that it sounds familiar to. Hey, let me know, man, because I would like to know. I can do like the breakdowns of some of these beats, man. Oh, let me go ahead. Let me loop this, man, so it won't stop. Okay, let me loop the beat. All right. Okay, here we go. right, Richard. Hopefully you can hear that. Hopefully you can hear that good. You can figure it out, man. Oh, I like that, Max. I like that, Max. I like that. Yeah. Okay. I got it, Harry. It sounds like Fat Man Scoop featuring Missy, Loose Control. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Very interesting. Very interesting. Laugh out loud, but a slower tone, though. Okay. Okay. Cool, man. Cool. And you know what? Now think about that song. It does sound like that. All right, man. All right. But yeah, I'm gonna go back. Like I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna look into that track that I was working on a little bit, man. But yeah, let me talk a little bit about wrestling, a little bit more about wrestling. Just wanted to give y'all a sample size of this beat, about of the beat making process. And if you like it, man, let me know exactly, that you do like it. And I'll come on and do some streams, especially do them in the daytime. I can have it a little bit louder, and you'll hear me working on some tracks, and I'll work on them from scratch, guys. So definitely let me know, man. Everybody's enjoying it so far, so I think it's something really good for me to pretty much incorporate with the things that we're doing on the Straight Up Wrestling Show. And I get Chris over here. We can do some things together, man. But Chris is a great drummer, but for some reason, he's not a good drummer on this. It's hard for people to play drums on a keyboard, man. But I know how to do it. So let's see. Max says, if you want to show them off on camera, you can. Yeah, Max, I'll bring it up. I'm gonna have them on our next show tomorrow, and I'm gonna put them out there. But yeah, I do like the tights, man. So I'm gonna pretty much put them on. On our platform. I'm gonna put them on the opening segment so people can see it. It'll be on a poster or whatever to one of our shows. All right, man. All right. Goodness sake. But yeah, I'm enjoying this a little bit, man. But yeah, I do want to go back to that beat that I was working on from scratch. I work on it just a little bit. When I'm designing my music, I like it loud. I like it loud so I can get more of the essence of what I'm trying to do. I can get more of the feel of what I'm trying to do. Because when I do it, I do it and it's not loud, it's not good. And when I usually do it at night, I can put on my headphones. I got a pair of $235 headphones. I think that's how much they cost me, whatever. Professional headphones over here. These headphones right here. Big time. Oh, shoot, guys. All right, man. I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to do that. I know you guys can hear me. But wow, give me just a second. Let me get this thing set back up, man. Goodness, let me get this thing set back up. All right, man. Goodness sake. Yeah, it fell on me for a minute there, man. Yeah, I wanted to get this thing back. Goodness sake. Yeah, I don't know why it failed, but I must have hit something and it fell. All right. Goodness sake, man. What in the world did I just do? Let me find this again. I got to go back. Still here, guys. Just having a little bit of technical difficulties. All right. So you see my finger for just my thumb for just a little. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, sorry about that. I dropped it and I was sitting there talking after I had dropped it. Didn't realize it was on mute. But I guess that when it fell on the floor, it knocked it on mute and everything like that. So I'm sitting here talking, and man, let me get it back on the stand here in just a minute. Whew, man, goodness sake, I'm hot, man. I'm hot up in here in this back room. So yeah, I was picking up my headphones here, and I ended up hitting the mic stand. But these AKGs right here, these things very expensive, man. I usually put these things on late at night when I'm pretty much designing my beats and all that, so everybody in the neighborhood can't hear me because they usually do. But they usually don't, they don't say anything, man. I have real good neighbors. I've been a good neighbor for a long time. And, we all get along. But, yeah, they do hear my music sometimes late at night, man. I could be in here in the studio 2 or 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning when I'm active, man. But I got to get active now and continue to be active. I'm going to stay active with my tracks. Marshall Vandal is not AEW until tomorrow, Laugh Out Loud. That's where we drop stuff. Yeah, I definitely will be on there tomorrow, man. I'm going to come on because we haven't done a show. The past couple shows, we've been pretty much neglecting that. So go back, man, and get back into this AEW. And I'm going to try to watch both past 2 episodes that I haven't watched, man, and pretty much probably do them live. I probably, because when it boils down to it, it's stopping and writing and everything like that, what I think of it. But, yeah, I'll probably just come on live tomorrow afternoon and just talk through them while I go through each and every match, man. All right, my man, Jacob Sammy says, Harry Beat sound like he recreated Godfather. Pimpin' ain't easy. I appreciate that, Jacob Sammy. Pimpin' ain't easy, but yeah, man, straight up, man, straight up. All right, man. Let me put this thing back on. Let me put this thing back on my stand. All right, just a minute, guys. Still here, man. Still here. But yeah, put it back on my stand. And man, I'll probably just play a few more beats here. And talk a little bit more about wrestling. Just now I got finished talking about the Y6. And let's see, who else, man? Okay, we talked about Cody Rhodes, then we talked about Y6, man. Okay, Swerve Strickland, man. Let's talk about Swerve Strickland. We know AEW now. AEW. All right, Richard Chad, appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. Jacob Sammy says, laugh out loud. Ooh, train. Okay. Oh, the whole train. Ooh, train. But look, man, Yeah, Swerve Strickland. Now, haven't really been presented as a world champion. Last week, he actually looked better than he has since he's won that title, you asked me, as far as representing and looking like a world champion. He actually did to a certain point. Now, maybe a C-plus world champion, B world champion, not that A grade, but he actually looked a lot better. I like the way he was dressed and everything. Looked a little bit more professional. More professional, still had his, still got his black card and everything. But not as ghetto. So if you get what I'm saying, you do want to come out and look your best, but when you make more money, you get a certain status, things change. Even in the black neighborhood, things change. You go up a little bit. And so I do think they presented him pretty nice last week. He presented himself very well. But man, how long will he have that title? Will Ospreay wrestle it away from him? I have no clue. But they definitely been on they have been on a track. They've been on, you can tell that they are on their way to taking that title away from that guy. It is what it is, man. All right, Marcus Brown in the house. What's up, Marcus? Marcus says, Harry, salute, bro. Sorry I haven't been here. But my grandmother passed on Saturday, man. Rest in peace to your grandmother, Marcus. Rest in peace to her and all her loved ones, man. Straight up. Sorry to hear that, Marcus, man. May the Lord bless your whole family. Straight up. Passed on Saturday. I'm not around like that, but I'm always able to watch afterwards, man. I appreciate that, Marcus. Definitely appreciate it. All right, Tim Allen, Swerve needs a makeover like Snoop Dogg. Yeah, no doubt about it. It's 98 style. My opinion. I hear you, Tim Allen. No doubt about that, man. All right. Marcus Brown says, rest in peace to Sika. Yes. Rest in peace to Sika. I talked about that a little bit earlier, but rest in peace to him, man. And, man, my condolences, all the condolences from Straight Up Wrestling Show go to Roman Reigns and his entire family, man, right now. That right there has to be tough. But, yeah, he almost lived to be 80 years old. Glad he had a long life, man. What a tag team him and Alpha was. I love the Wild Samoans. Yeah, I was a fan of them. I was a fan of the Wild Samoans, even though they were bad guys at the time. I remember being fans of them because they were such great wrestlers. But, man, yeah, definitely rest in peace to them. Yeah, no, Tim Allen says rest in peace to her, Marcus. Prayers also, most definitely. Thank you. I'm pretty sure Marcus like that. Thank you for that, Tim. Let's see. Richard Chad pretty much giving you a salute, my brother, with prayers, hands up. All right. Rest in peace, Sika. Yes, Tim Allen says. Marcus Brown, yeah, giving thanks to Tim Allen. Marcus Brown, I didn't know Roman had sisters. I didn't either. All right, Tim Allen says, Harry, even the legendary boxer's son passed. Which one? Which one? Wow, Tim. Thank you. Which one, man? Crazy, man, crazy. But people, we see that so much now. We know about people passing away as soon as it happens because of the internet and everything. But people passing seem like they're passing a lot faster today than they were before, man. Straight up. Let me put this mic back in here. The mic make my music sound good. So I'm put that Shure mic back into my phone. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do some more beats. Let's see. He boxed in the 90s. He boxed in the 90s. Who is that, man? I'm pretty sure I would know. Pat McAfee father-in-law passed on Monday. That's why he missed Raw. Okay. Wow, man. Rest in peace to Pat McAfee's father, man. And once again, hey, all our prayers go out to Pat McAfee and his father, man. I mean, Pat not and his father, but Pat McAfee and his family, man. May his father rest in peace. Straight up, man. Goodness sake. Wow, man. That is crazy. It's crazy, guys. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna work a little bit on this beat, man. Work a little bit on this beat that I was working on. And then I will pretty much go ahead and save what I have. And then I'm gonna go ahead and throw in some more stuff, man. I'm gonna go ahead and throw in another. All right, Roy Jones. Yeah, Roy Jones Jr. Son committed suicide, man. I hate that. Roy Jones Jr. was my favorite boxer back in the 90s. Great, outstanding boxer. Love Roy Jones Jr. Him and Sugar Shane Mosley was my favorite in the 90s. Him, Sugar Shane Mosley, and Oscar De La Hoya. And let's see, Antito Trinidad. I like Bernard Hopkins too. But yeah, Roy Jones #1 at that time, man. Yeah, wow, I hate that. But rest in peace to Roy Jones Jr.'s son. And man, all prayers out to Roy Jones Jr. I know he's a man of faith, and I hope he's leaning on that faith 100%. All right, Marcus Brown says, so do you got Swerve losing on Sunday? I don't know. He doesn't need to lose on Sunday. That's all I have to say. He doesn't need to lose on Sunday. Richard Chad says Mike Tyson. Yeah, Mike Tyson in the 90s, early 90s. Yeah, look, he was my favorite until he got with Don King. He got with Don King, that messed him up, and I knew it was going to mess him up. And Richard, everything that I thought was going to happen happened. So I just, gosh, man. He ever would have went back with Kevin. Who was it? Not Kevin Dunn. Who was his manager? Kevin Rooney. He ever would have got back with Kevin Rooney, or he never would have left Kevin Rooney. The dude probably would have never lost. Incredible. Kevin Rooney, incredible manager for, not manager, but for trainer for Tyson. He kept Tyson motivated. He knew how to get the best out of Tyson. And he knew Cus D'Amato. He knew all his training methods and everything. And he knew how to get everything out of Tyson. After Tyson didn't have him anymore, man, all the vultures came around. All the vultures. They was coming around before Kevin Rooney was gone. But yeah, after he had fired Kevin Rooney and went with that Don King, man, that was it. Harry, did you see the ratings last week? Yes, I did, Marcus. Awful, man. Awful for AEW. All right, yeah, Harry. Richard says Robin Givens also, even though she was hot. That's true. That's true. Man, she was so beautiful, especially when she was, I forgot that TV show she played in. I thought she was beautiful too. I can't blame Tyson, but man, I knew it was trouble. Because very smart girl, beautiful girl. I said she's gonna manipulate him, and she did. Tim Allen says Kevin Rooney. Yes, sir. Thank you, Tim. Yeah, Kevin Rooney, man, was something. This dude, he had it, man. He had all the tools for training Tyson, man. Him and Tyson was a match made in heaven. Because D'Amato definitely put him with the right trainer. As far as I remember, when he was younger, he had who's the guy, man, that Teddy Atlas. But they had trouble. I don't think Teddy would have ever been able to lead Mike like that. To the title like that. But Kevin Rooney knew what he was doing. All right, Marcus Brown says a full week of great WWE shows, while AEW shows gets worse by the week. Yes. Tim Allen, did you watch Tyson film back then, Harry? Featuring Michael J. White. Yes, it did. Michael J. White played a great Mike Tyson. Talk about another good fighter. Different, a little different martial arts. But yeah, he does know some boxing. So yeah, he's a great fighter. Richard Chad says, Dan Mike wasn't himself. After that, he became an animal. Yes, he did. But yeah, he lost all that head movement and everything, even though he still did it a little bit, but not like Kevin Rooney did it. Had him. Gosh, man, Kevin Rooney kept the guy in shape. Kevin Rooney, Tyson never went into the ring when he was with Kevin Rooney at 228 pounds and 225, 224 and everything. Tyson would go in there at 219 at the most. I think 221 one time at the most. But Tyson the same height as I am. He's 5'10", man. I'm 221 now. This morning, that's what I was. But, I want to get on down into the 210s, 209 or something like that, and probably a little bit lighter, just a little bit lighter. But, yeah, Tyson would and, he was solid muscle. But, yeah, he was getting too heavy for some of those fights, man. His height wasn't good. Now, if he was wrestling, a whole different ball game. All right, my man Richard Chad says, Black Dynamite, laugh out loud, Harry. Let me go and check out some of the stuff, man, right here. But, guys, I'm gonna get to a couple more beats, man, then I'm going to go ahead and take off. Oh, man. Yeah, but if you're on Facebook, man, go ahead and hit that like, share, join. If you're on YouTube, hit that like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, ding, 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 so you know when we're on like times like these. If you're on Twitch, you do the same thing. And if you over on X, formerly known as Twitter, hit that like, share, tweet, and retweet. Appreciate you guys. Definitely, man. Definitely. What the world happened there? Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Yeah, when his manager, man, Bill. When Bill passed away, yeah, he was Mike. That hurt Mike. That hurt Mike big time. I think if Bill would have stayed around, Bill Caton. Now the other dude, I forgot his name. He had two managers. Mike didn't care for him at all. But Bill passed away. Yeah, that killed him because Cuss had went away, and Bill was like his uncle, man. And Cuss like his father. Really, Cuss was pretty much his father. And then Bill Clayton, passed away, and that was just it, man. All he had really was Kevin Rooney left. But Kevin was more like he was the guy that made Mike do what he really didn't want to do, but he did it. He did it. Like Mike said, man, go to work even though you hate it. Go to work like you love it, and that way you'll be successful all the time. But Mike, hey, that didn't really get to him until he got older. That wisdom came. But man, if he would have did it back then. But yeah, Kevin was one of these guys that made him work. Wasn't gonna let him go out and party and spend all his money and do all that crazy stuff. And Kevin called out him for his friends, man. So I'm pretty sure he's happy to get away from him, to tell you the truth. Morgan Brown said, Liv Morgan is a star. I love her character and storyline, and CM Punk is cooking. I remember people clowning him for his return promo, and I said, give it time, damn near 7 months. Look where we are. Marcus? I don't know, Marcus. Marcus, we still, I like what he's doing. I do like what they're doing with him. But hey, only time will tell, man. We got to see this guy back in the ring. Straight up, man. We do. All right. But Richard Chad says, when his trainer passed, Mike became an animal, Harry. Yes, Richard Chad says, man, those stories he had with newspapers on Tyson, meet with the Vogue girls. Yep. Marcus Brown, are we talking about black athletes? Because I want to know your opinions on the black wrestlers in history, like top 10 black wrestlers in history. Who you got? Man, we already did. We did a doggone what's name on that, man, about 3 or 4 months back. Black History Month in February. We did a top 10. We did more than a top 10 on that. Man, I have number one. I think I have Tony Atlas at number one. I can't remember him or Ernie Ladd, one of the two. But then, I think I have Ernie Ladd after that at number 2. At number 3, I'm not exactly sure who I had at number 3. That could have been Ron Simmons. I don't think it was. But man, right now, only I have to say Tony Atlas and Ernie Ladd is the best I've seen. Man, and even though they didn't win world titles, it was a whole different ball game. Tony Atlas was one of the top 3-4 wrestlers in the world there for 6 years straight, man. From 78 to 83, 5 years, 78 to 83, 84. He was one of the top 5 to 6. He was in that top 5 to 6, and one time he was in the top 4 range as one of the top wrestlers in the world. I think I had Butch Reed at number 3. I'm not sure, but Tony Atlas is incredible. Ernie Ladd was incredible. Ernie Ladd, I have him at a second best big man of all time, next to Arthur Andre the Giant. The third best big man is John Studd, but I have Ernie Ladd number 2. Ernie Ladd was incredible. I think I have Ernie Ladd. I'm not sure. It's between him and Ernie Ladd, man. Richard Chad or model Tim Allen, how you feel about Don King back then, Harry? Do you think he deserves a Hall of Fame for boxing? Yes, he does. He does. Even though he ruined a lot of people's lives, man. He really did. He really did. But did he do a lot of things for boxing? Yes, he did. He did a lot of things for a lot of boxers. But when it boils down to a lot of these guys would be richer than what they actually are if it wasn't for Don King. You would have Larry Holmes would be a lot richer if it wasn't for Don King. You have a lot of other people, a lot of other heavyweights who could have been rich if it wasn't for Don King, that really did a great job in the ring for Don King and made a lot of money. But Don King took it off the top. Now, will Evander Holyfield be richer if it wasn't for Don King? No, because Evander Holyfield was messing with too many doggone women. He put himself in that situation. And he was able to take on, and Holyfield couldn't stand it. He was able to take a hold of Holyfield's he was able to get his contract because him beating Tyson. Man, it's kind of messed up. Man, Don King was a real snake, man, straight up. Marcus Brown, Harry, so what dream matches you want to see with Jacob Fatu in WWE? Give me Jacob versus Gunther and him and Roman versus the Usos. I don't know, man. I really don't know right now. I mean, we got to see what he does with this, inside this faction. Hey, and he ended up doing that dive on Cody, man, messed his ribs up. I don't know, man. I really don't know. It's kind of early, Marcus. And I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm very excited about Jacob Fatu. I can't sit here and tell you that I'm very excited about Jacob Fatu. Now, does he make the bloodline, the bloodline in their current situation, the way they're formed right now, does he make that stronger? Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Because when it boils down to it, they look pretty weak to me, man, until Jacob Fatu. He adds to that crew. All right, Tim Allen, top 10, Thunderbolt, Booker T, Tony Atlas, Ladd, Rocky Johnson. Yeah, Rocky Soulman Johnson, man. Probably Rocky Soulman Johnson is the best black wrestler I ever seen. When he was Sweet Ebony Diamond in the Mid-Atlantic Championship area, that's the best black wrestler I ever seen in my life. Incredible. I think I had him at number 1. Laugh out loud, Harry, Chris. Richard Chad says, good point, Harry. But Thunderbolt Patterson definitely in my top 10. He's probably like 6 or whatever. But yeah, Thunderbolt Patterson was great. Richard Chad is like a gift and a curse. Wow, Harry, very good point on with Don King. Yes, no doubt, man, no doubt. All right. Let's see. Marcus Brown, Harry. So I seen a post on the Samoan kids between Roman, Jacob, Jamie J, Tonga, Tamina, Rock, and Solo. They have almost 40 kids, and the Samoans will never die. We will be dead with that family. Oh, there's no doubt about that, man. Richard Chad says, if you move, no doubt about that, boy. Thunderbolt Patterson, boy, the greatest promo, one of the greatest promos of all time, man, when he told Ole Anderson, if you move, I'm gonna. Didn't get it out, man. He didn't get it out. That joke was saying, doggone, man. He said, they gave me one more chance to get my hands on you. The authorities gave me one more chance to get my hands on you, Ole. He said, you've been ruining people's lives. He said, not even to discuss what you did with mine, how you handled mine back in the day. He said, but man, he said, you've been getting on everybody's case. So come Sunday at the Omni, man, was it Saturday night at the Omni in Atlanta? If you move, boy, I done had it up to here. Man, that Thunderbolt Patterson was a mess, boy. But that thing about him and Ole Anderson, man, they could talk people into a building. That's how great they were. They could talk people into the building. Didn't have to do it with their wrestling skills. They could talk you into the building. All right. My man Tim Allen says, Harry cooking with the beats. All right, man. Appreciate that. Yeah, Richard Chad. Richard Chad, one of the best Hall of Fame speeches of all time goes to Thunderbolt Patterson's laugh out loud. Yes, and I'm glad they let him finish it, man. They did. They respected him. I appreciate that. Marcus Brown, I heard Jacob was sent by Roman as a bug to keep Heyman safe. You will see once Solo touches Heyman as Tama and Tonga, other brother will be joining soon. Okay, man. Okay. We'll see. We'll see how all that stuff plays out, man, because it's a mess. It really is. Woo, guys, man. Been on here for a while. But yeah, man, I need to do something with this beat, man. Let me see what I got here. Well, okay, this is a basic beat I had put down. First, I had put down the kick drum. Then I went back and I put together the snare, guys. Let me throw a little hi-hats in here, man. Let me throw a little hi-hats on this beat here. Throw a little hi-hats on the beat. Throw a little hi-hats on the beat. Throw a little hi-hats on this beat, guys. Yeah. All right, let me get this thing right, man. Let's see. There's my hi-hats there. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and throw a little hi-hats on this beat, man. Trying to finish this thing off. Okay, I got something here, man. Gotta work with this a little bit. Okay, I messed up there. I messed that one up. I'm gonna have to erase that, guys. I don't like it. Let's see. See if I can maybe erase that track, man. Erase that track. Let me go ahead and edit this thing. Give me just a second, guys. I'm still here, man. I just want to erase that track. I don't like that track. Oh, no. I'm not trying to do that. Goodness sake, man. I'm trying to figure this thing out. All right. Okay, guys. Just here, man. I just messed up on the track a little bit, so I wanted to erase that one. I'll erase that, that hi-hat track and put it back together. Put it back on, man. But I appreciate it. Like I said, I appreciate everybody coming in with me and while I'm sitting here messing with this beat. All right, man. Let's see. I hear you, man. I would love to do that. Master Chad says, okay. All right. Tim Allen says, now Cody Rhodes can be next. Talk to the crowd. Okay. Marcus Brown said, Harry, also, could you see Jacob possibly dethroning Cody? No. Hopefully not, Marcus. No, man. No. I don't see him as the world champ. I just don't. All right, Master Chad, not saying he's not good enough to do it as a wrestler, but for him to represent that company as the world champion, not at this time, no. Master Chad, Harry, write that down for a song, throw a hi-hat on the beat, remind me, Friends by Houdini. Thank you. How much do we have them? Friends, ones we can depend on, no doubt. Marcus Brown, Harry over here trying to be the new WWE theme creator with that piano. I hear you. Marcus Brown says, Harry, I need to make my wrestling theme. Okay. All right, guys. Let me get that hi-hat on here, man. All right, let me see. All right, let's go ahead and get that on there. Let me go ahead and get that in, guys, real quick. All right, guys. So we got the hi-hat in there, man. So pretty much setting the beat up. For some reason, give me a second, guys. For some reason, that sounds a little off. All right, okay. Just 1 second. I'm gonna have to quantize that. Oh snap! Oh snap! I hit the doggone camera, man. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, I gotta quantize that, man. I can tell that's a little off there. So give me just a second. Give me a second. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that was off, man. After I recorded it right, but the quantization is off, so it didn't record good. Okay, give me a second, and I'll get that quantization right. All right, now let's listen to it. All right, guys, should be right now. Should be on point now. All right, that sounds right there, man. That's smooth right there. Now I'm gonna throw a bass line on this thing in just a minute, guys. All right, Manson Chad says Harry became our version of Jim Johnson. Richard Chad, very good iron, Harry. That's what a producer should do. Here's something that's messed up to fix it, or the artist gonna tell you slow down a beat. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, man. Throw a bass line on this thing real quick. Something simple. Not gonna get too busy on it, man. Throw an old rap bass on it or something like that. That's a fading bass there. All right, give me just a second here. Some finger bass. All right, man. All right, guys, I think I got a bass line here. Let me roll with this one real quick, guys. So stay tuned with me, guys. Got to go back and fix that, guys. Check that out right there. Kind of want that going all the way through, but let me go ahead and do a little something here, and I'll make sure that goes all the way through like that. Doing a little something, man, a little something easy, you know. One, two, go to track 3. Okay. Now let's go to see. Go to 8. Let's see what we get here. All right, let me see if I got it all. Okay, let's see what we got here, guys. Check it out, check it out, check it out. 16 years and another brother rhyming on a track. I'm Simple Jack, no one comes better on a contract. Always loud, never slow, I'm not moaning. back down on the lawnmower. The doggone bass line got messed up. Check it out, y'all. For goodness sake, losing my voice. Yeah. Goodness, that's where it went off. Okay. All right, that's where it messed up. Give me just a second here, guys. See if I can fix this thing in the mix. Usually I always would just go back and fix it manually and play it the whole way. But to save time, I figured out this other way to do it to where I can loop it and it saved time. Thank goodness I figured that out. Because, man, I used to have to go. Because I used to make my beats. The way I used to make my beats, guys, was I would play like a whole song. I would do like 100. I would do like 100 bars. And I would play everything for that 100 bars. I would play the drums, especially when I was doing drum machines. I was doing separate instruments. You know, I have a keyboard, I had a drum machine. I would have a xylophone. I would play trombone. So that's the reason why I always got on Xavier Woods, man, because he couldn't play it. You know, I would play everything. And then I would record it. So, you know, I played everything separate, guys. If I wanted to put a guitar in there, I played it separate. But now, you know, I just started when I got a keyboard, I just started putting everything into a keyboard. So that's the way I do it, man. I just break down the tracks, whatever way I want to do it, and just go from there. Wow, I keep hitting this thing, man, because I do have this thing close to me, man. So, goodness sake, I'm just doing. Okay, I got the camera close to me. Wow, but I appreciate you guys staying on here. All right. Okay, man. All right. Harry became our version of Jim Johnson. Okay, Marcus Brown cracking up. Oh, I like that. Marcus Brown, fire. I love that, man. Appreciate it. All right, Marcus Brown. It sounds great to me. Marcus Brown, this beat sounds hilarious, but it's great at the same time. Richard Chad, fire. A guitar, interesting. Yeah, that's a bass guitar. So I'm going to put a rock guitar on there, man, or something like that here, or a lead guitar on there, or something. But I'm just gonna go ahead and leave it at this, at that. Let me go and see what I got here, man. Check it out. Yo. Okay, it's going straight through just now, man. Fix the little jinx in there, man. All right, so that's in there. Like I said, and tomorrow, man, I will go ahead and continue on with that track. So, guys, hey, look out for me tomorrow. Straight up, man. Straight up. And, yeah, Marcus, man, look, I like Jacob Fatu. I don't know where in the world they're going to go with him. I really don't. But we'll see. We'll see what kind of genius moves that they're able to put together with him, man. It's going to be interesting. It really is. The whole bloodline thing is going to be interesting. And with the death of Sika, with the death of Roman's dad, I don't know when they'll come back. I have no clue when he plans on coming back, but we'll see. And this right here is papers, man. It's got all my instruments on it. You know, you really can't see it, but it has all the sounds that's in this keyboard. It's 536 different sounds in this keyboard. Like I said, this keyboard is, I bought this keyboard back in the late 90s. Or was it early? Around 96 or 98, one of the two. But 536 different instrumental programs in this keyboard. And then you can add stuff to it. But, man, yeah, I definitely appreciate you coming on. Look like my dog is barking, want to get out of the house. I'm going to go ahead and get my dog and let them out in just a minute. But yeah, let me go ahead and make sure I get all the comments before I do that. But my dog is ready to get out, seems like. But I'm going to go ahead and let my dog out, man. So my dog go out there and use the bathroom. All right. Richard Chad, check it out. Me and my friends Harry and Marcus came out to making a beat that flow like a forest. I hear you, Richard. I definitely hear you, man. But yeah, I appreciate you guys coming on and staying here, man, and checking this thing out while I'm rocking the beat. Dropping some beats, doing a little something different. Hey, I appreciate it, man. 100%. You guys stay straight up, and I will see you tomorrow. Stay straight up. Peace.